All right, let's get to work, yeah?
We think that Homelander is looking for the V1.
It's Thought's first iteration of Compound V. If Homelander got his hands on some, he'd be immortal.
Going into it, and these two characters have come so far. The fact that Starlighter, who was such, a reluctant hero to start with, is now basically our saving. Like, she's the only thing that we can hope for at the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah, no, it's funny you're saying that because you're totally right. Yet from her perspective, she feels the opposite. So it's interesting how like that there can be such a dissonance between how others perceive us or what reality is versus how we look at things from our perspective. And I think it's just a testament to the fact that she is so earnestly good, like so earnestly, like this is such a kind of cheesy word to use, but heroic. It's just innately who she is, that she's constantly questioning, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I going about this in the right way? How do we get like to our end goal, but make sure that these people are safe? And the world is so dark and so complicated around her that she's been forced to kind of be put in this position of isolation and also constantly wondering whether or not she's doing things the right way. And so you're totally right. She is our only like symbol outside of Hughie, really, this season of
Well,
hope.
you're a more public facing.
Right, the public
Right.
symbol of hope.
For sure.
But internally and privately, she's feeling the opposite, and she's feeling pretty nihilistic, which is just, I think, a justified and very natural result of what's happened to her all of these seasons. Trauma's going to catch up to her. She's been through so much. It's a matter of whether she's going to be able to transcend and metabolize that trauma to a stronger and better place so she can find herself again,
And now, what about Huey? Because Jack, there's a moment in the first episode back where I feel like everything that he's gone through has carved out these new levels in him, where it feels like he is finally overtly heroic as well, like proactive in it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. I think Huey on this show, and that's the beauty of like playing a character for 5 seasons, is I got to see him change from a boy to a man. I think a big thing that I wanted to get across this season was that he was Huey without fear. All of the bad things in the world that could happen to a person happened to him, and he's still here. So that actually, it could break you down, but I think it actually gave him a lot of confidence. And yeah, he's in a prison camp and things are not looking good, but I think he's able to take that hope and that confidence and try to give it to others, especially Frenchie and MM, who were used to being the guy like leading us in the absence of Butcher. I think Huey has to step up to the plate, and playing him without fear was fascinating and so fun, and it just felt like a culmination of 5 seasons of great writing. I was really, really happy to do it.
Should these characters survive the final battle, how do you think they will actually work as a couple?
I think that they're whatever version of soulmates this show can have.
Totally.
And so however that would manifest for them, I don't know. But I do like to think that
Yeah, they're each other's person for
Yeah.
sure. And I feel like if they've been dealing with all the stuff they've been dealing with, I feel like if they survive and they just have to I don't know, like little petty relationship squabbles don't really seem like a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
But if only they were able to get to that place.
Yeah, we'll
But
see.
who knows?
I was fighting.
Yeah, but they're soulmates, whether they die together, live together,
Honestly, fighting to get to the point where they can fight over what's for dinner.
yeah.
Really, like that's it.
You understand, when your character is so great at being bad that we don't want to see them killed, you're doing your job.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But let's talk about these, because Sage I cannot get a read on this woman still.
Yes, score. That's the point. Kripke talked about Sage when we were developing her as a sphinx, as someone who has the knowledge but has total restraint at sharing it for her own reasons that we will get into in season 5 on Amazon Prime.
And Valerie, Firecracker is
She too is a sphinx. Yes.
we are seeing Firecracker like in real time, in the real world. She now has the show. She's got she's got the platform. What is her end game?
As in, what is she trying to pursue here?
Yeah.
Look, she never asked to be here. She was talking about Tom Hanks on a stage of her own in a world she controlled. She didn't ask to be. Do you think she has an endgame? Has she ever had an endgame in her life? You know,
Well, that's what I'm trying to
she's a
figure out.
creature
Like, what?
of the moment.
She's keeping her head above
She's
water.
keeping her head above water. You know what I mean? She will do what she has to do to survive, like the cockroach that she is. But like, she hasn't. There has never been a goal and a plan executed.
Like what?
But you know what? Thank you. Thank you for thinking that maybe she might.
Well, I figured at this point, like, does she trust anyone?
In Vought?
Yeah.
I don't know that she trusted anyone to begin with.
Ever.
Like, I think maybe she trusted Homelander, but that's different than the fact that she loved him and wasn't afraid of him.
And she did trust Sage that one time. That one time, but never again.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that was stupid.
And does Sage, do you think Sage wants to run Vought or ruin Vought?
Oh, that's interesting. I think Sage is kind of the opposite of a cockroach. Her point of view is bird's eye view. So she's always looking at the chessboard, trying to do the most advantageous thing, both in the moment and in the future. So it's always a bit watery. There is no in a similar way. There's no end game. It's what's the best for me from this moment forward. So I think that's the goal for Sage.
And she's a literal know-it-all.
Literally, yeah.
Do you play her as she's always assessing the actions and decisions of the people around her as right or wrong?
Oh, I answered that question before you finished it. Right or wrong? No. I think that question is exactly how she's operating until the very last phrase. Not right or wrong, useful.
Oh, okay.
People are either useful to her
All right.
or not.
Okay. You know, this final season is a big deal for the fans. And I feel like both of your characters have grown so much from for those first episodes. How do you feel about where your characters land at the beginning of the final season?
Oh my goodness. I mean, both our characters are in unexpected places.
Yeah.
We find my character, Kimiko, in Manila of all places. You know, she's trying to find Frenchie. She's trying to get back to the boys' gang, but it's impossible to find a way to get them out of Freedom Camp. And so it's that going through that alone and not being in contact with Annie at the beginning of the season is a challenge for her. And you'll soon find out how she regroups with everyone.
I think with A-Train, we find him in the only place that actually makes sense. You know, he's on the move, sort of. Like, we find that him and his family are, like, planted for the time being in the south of France. But he's always sort of moving to the next place and trying to stay 1 or 2 steps ahead of Vought, which, you know, when you're dealing with other supers is a bit of a challenge. And not really in a lot of contact with the world that he left behind. We do learn pretty early on that he's got a little bit of back and forth with Annie, and he's sort of helping as much as he can. But honestly, you know, the only thing that really made sense for him at this point is to just be moving, always on the run.
For both of you, actually, because A-Train, you know, he was aligned with the Seven for so long that this shift in his loyalties gets you the chance to really interact more with the boys and the gang. And Kimiko is finally speaking. So you're both getting to interact with your co-stars in a different way this season. How was that, shifting that dynamic and really getting to play in a different color there?
I mean, for me, it was like... It didn't feel like I was playing a different character, but it did feel like I was on a different show.
Hey, welcome to the boys.
You know, yeah, that's the boys.
Welcome
it's
to
like
the boys' side.
I'm still playing A-Train, and like I still talk and feel like him, but it felt like they took him out of the boys, or the version of the boys that I had been playing in for so long, and sort of dropped him into their world a little bit. And I will say, like, I mean, we had more comfortable situations and sets and stuff when I had the suit on.
You're in the Vought tower.
Now I'm in the streets with y'all.
I know. We get all the scenes with all the cold
Yeah.
dingy. We don't get the nice cars.
No,
Have
man.
you seen our picture cars?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were
yeah.
barely functioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rusted on the insides and stuff. I was like, y'all could do this with with paint. You don't really need it to be falling apart. But yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's nice.
And Karen, how is it for you getting to like actually verbalize things with these people?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen in the trailer that she is finally able to interact with characters like A-Train, and we've never seen that before. And it was definitely a challenge trying to find the voice this season. But I think with, Kripke's help, we kind of got there, and I got some funny lines. The world of Kripke is, I mean, I don't know what goes on in his mind and how he comes up with these one-liners, but I got to say some of them this season, which was really fun.
Anthony, there's so many disgusting things. For a Homelander who is so put together and so well coiffed and everything, he's always surrounded by carnage and disgust. Like the breast milk, there's a scene in the first episode back with like somebody sitting next to you. This season, can you where does it land on like the gross scale for you?
I think my gross scale is broken.
It's been desensitized.
I think I'm a little numbed. I'm like, yeah, I'm like lidocained up. But no, I think I think we go to some pretty dark look, it's nothing new. Here's the good news. It's not incredibly new. It's right in the pocket where we like this character to be, where I like this character to be, which is fucking dark. It's grimy, it's dark, it's really twisted, and it's bloody.
Everyone was talking, like, especially in the last couple seasons, the humanity that you are injecting into this monster, and you've called him a monster, but like there's such a humanity underneath there. This broken guy, it's like he needs the world's biggest hug. Do you think that I mean, at this point he's not redeemable, but like, do you think there's any good in him?
I actually would say yes, but in the same way that there probably would have been a good in Jeffrey Dahmer. It's just covered in it's so deep down,
so buried.
It's so deeply buried in wreckage. I don't think there's any way back. I think you cross the line. The point of no return has been crossed, and now there's only explanation. There's no redeeming. So,
Tony, you said goodbye to the show in a really lovely post.
Yeah.
Jensen, you're carrying the story on.
Yeah.
How is that, like, seeing all these people say goodbye to it, knowing that you're going to take this on now?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to drop the baton. I really am. These guys, I told Erin this last night at dinner, she said, how's it going? I was like, well, you guys are handing off some unfillable shoes. And I'm very thankful, and I'm humbled at the opportunity to kind of carry the torch that these guys built. And I just, pray I don't drop it.
No, hold on. You being humble and modest, and that's great. But here's the thing. This guy came in to play a character that was meant to be done and dusted in one season, and Eric put him on ice for a reason. He's been the lead of a show for 20 years, and as nice as he is and effusive as you are coming in and saying what you say about us, he's a lead. He's a lead. So stepping into that role, it's not carrying the torch. It's throwing fucking petrol on it. So it's going to be a great show, and I can't wait to tune in. I've only heard what's happened. I haven't seen anything, but I'm already like it's going to be one of my absolute must-watch.